Dude, we're like a thrift store that hosts live music and has a podcast studio.
Yeah. What if we recorded the live performances and then brought the artists in here and did a kind of behind the mic interview?
Yeah, so you could like discover new local music and then learn a little something about the people who make it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's do it.
Bet.
Wait, how do you spell my name? Justin-R-A. Justin Rhyme.
Grinding the car, eyes with no side, familiar picture left to right. The beast can't escape while asleep or awake. Can learn from mistakes before it's too late. Never thought this could be your last deal in all the streets of gold allowed to burn with all your kin. Yeah, the consequences never laid out before you think of a strike, and you're left a whole wrongs left without a right. 'Cause I heard a creak in the door, the foundation's worse than before. To leave alive without any ties, just so you can get it right, 'cause that's what we needed. That's what you're feeding the suckers and leeches. We don't need you. Take a look at it your side. Always thought it was right. Cut the corner to feed, filling your pockets of greed. You made us have to give in, turn away from within. The smile that's your friend, standing deep in it. Never thought you'd pay up for those intentions, yeah, but now the bill is due. Yeah, it's way past suspension. This is a grim look at what you bought and what you paid. So right now, get it right, 'cause that's what we needed. I heard a creak in the door, the foundation's worse than before. To leave alive without any ties, just so you can get it right, 'cause that's what we needed. That's what you're feeling, the suckers
just had a killer performance out there 20 minutes ago. And now we're going to sit down and try and get to know the musician behind the many instruments. You had like a whole band out there just by yourself. It was impressive.
Yeah.
I love, first of all, I love anybody who can perform well and play music, but anybody who can do loops with the pedals and do multiple instruments at once. I feel like there's a whole different sector of people who can perform like that. So I'm wildly impressed.
I really
love
appreciate that.
How long have you been involved with music?
Oh, I have been involved with music my whole life. Started off like singing in the choir. And then I rapped. I would write raps and things. Like, this was like a long time ago. And then I started getting into bands, and I was a lead singer in a band, and a few bands. And then I really started taught myself basic music theory, and I started getting really heavier into it. And then I had, this idea I wanted to create my own genre. So through a lot of trials and tribulations, I realized I had to do it on my own. I had band members and doing all these things. I actually have a buddy of mine that plays the didgeridoo as well, but it just wasn't working out. So I said, you know what, I'm going to have to facilitate this on my own. So I bought a looper, and then I started, and here we are, 4 years later, Justin Ra.
Did you have any, you started young as a kid, did you have any musical influence within the family?
Yes, my mother is a singer, and she actually had a stroke like a while ago, but before that she sang like all over, and she actually sang in St. Louis. There's like this Powell Symphony Hall, like the In Unison concert, like every Christmas she would sing at the our big symphony hall every Christmas.
Wow.
She was really, really good. So that's where I get the influence, and just growing up around music, you know, just listening to all different types. I love classical, jazz, blues. Then I got into rock, really heavy into metal, techno. I listen to Bjork. I mean, I'm all over the place.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. I would say, now you mentioned you came up with your own genre, and galactic jungle music. Yes. Okay. So how did you, first of all, how did you decide that you needed to kind of, break ground and make your own genre? And then how did you decide how to call it galactic jungle?
Well, it's this type of feeling, like sitting in my Zen room, and I'm just listening to a lot of different music and listening to things that I have recorded and played. And I'm like, man, I feel like I just want to create my own genre that mixes all of these respects, like the past and the future. So the past aspect is getting back to the roots. That's why I play the djembe and the didgeridoo. These like older instruments that are told you're sitting around a fire with your tribe.
Yeah.
You're vibing. So that's why I incorporate those instruments into it. And then, fast forward to the future with all the electronics and all the different types of sounds that can be sampled and used. And I mix the past with the potential future to create a present. So it's like this medium. I created like a medium of like past and future. And you're just like this, like you're on the earth, but you're looking up at the stars.
Okay. Oh, I like that.
Yes.
That's a good description.
Yeah.
For those of you, we'll be playing some of his performance, but like when you're present and watching it, that's a good way of how it feels.
Awesome. Yes.
You're like experiencing it, but then also witnessing it.
Yes. Yeah. Your like feet are on the ground and you're grounded, but you're also like your head's in the clouds, and it's you're just in awe of just life.
So how did you just you said you decided that you needed to kind of mine these all together? Did you teach yourself how to use the looper?
Yes.
Awesome.
I taught myself how to use the looper. There's a couple of there's videos. YouTube is our
this
best
whole
friend.
place was built on YouTube.
Really? That's amazing. Yeah, YouTube is our everyone's best friend. So yeah, I taught myself how to do it, and then I just had to. You have the ideas in your head and you have to manifest them. So I had the ideas in my head and I just had to manifest it, and it took a while, man. It took a little bit to really dial it in and get my sound how I really like it. And I'm still evolving. Like, I've learned so much stuff over the last year. I'm ready to incorporate that into the future of my style. So it's going to be really exciting.
And manifesting is kind of just fancy for messing up a lot until you start to finally get it right.
Exactly. You got to try. Yeah, you have this idea, and then you're like, all right, well, I got to keep trying and keep trying. Okay, that didn't work. This works,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that feeling when you finally hit that chord and you're like, oh, that's it.
Eureka.
I love it. Okay. So outside of, music and performing, what would you outside of this, you mentioned that you work at Whole Foods and then you're also involved in video production.
Yeah.
So if you're not doing any of those and you've got some free time, what are you going to be doing? What?
Man, I am an extremely active person. So,
Okay.
And I have, certain seasons. I do certain things. I love camping. I love hiking. I love being outside. I like kayaking. I like going to festivals. I like dancing.
Love it.
Exercising a lot. I exercise, 4 or 5 times a week to stay, to condition my body to do things. And this is all summer activities, traveling. And then the winter, I love snowboarding. I'm obsessed with it.
Okay.
I've been snowboarding for like 10 years.
Nice.
And I go to Colorado very often. And it's a guilty pleasure because it's expensive.
Sick.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I would have taken you for an outdoors person immediately.
Yeah,
you give up that kind of vibe for sure.
I love it, man.
Well, it's excellent. So how long when was your first live performance?
With the solo act?
Yes.
Or just, okay.
Well, no, let's go back. Even with just a group. I mean, you mentioned you did choir.
Yeah. I mean, I did choir. I won't really count that.
Yeah.
Let's say
someone gave you money to perform.
Yeah, my first actual show as a front man was in St. Louis at this place back in the day called the Galaxy. It was on Washington Avenue. Long time ago, excuse me. That was a long time ago. And that was my first show. Ever. And I was just a front man. And it's like you get up there and you're singing. Like now I know theory and intervals and things like that. I didn't know anything. I was just singing. Even singing in the choir, we got some training, but we didn't get interval training. We didn't really get so much ear training sometimes. Yeah. So I was okay at it. I feel like I'm a lot better now. But that was my first show.
Excellent. Okay.
Cool.
So since then, I'm sure just like most people, do you get nervous?
No.
You don't get nervous? Okay.
Dude, I'm out there with all that stuff. Internally, no. I don't get butterflies or anything. Sometimes, my hand will be, shaking a little bit because I'm don't mess up. But I think it's from the past. My old looper, if I messed up anything with the old looper, it was the whole song was messed up.
Okay. Consequences were a bit dire.
Yes, but with this one, it's it's a little wiggle room to where I have all these dynamic pre-recorded sounds so I can just layer on top of it. But I still think I just got this new looper last year. So I think I'm still
learning.
The trauma is still there.
Yeah. Okay.
So when I was playing earlier, I was like, why are you shaking? I'm not even nervous, And I think the heat, but no, I do not get nervous. It's so weird. I've been doing it for so long. It's just I like it. I love being up there.
Yeah.
I love sharing what I do, and I love showing the world what I do. So I just don't. I don't know.
Awesome. I wish I could relate. I say before performances, I don't perform, but I used to play rugby, and whenever we'd play in front of people, for sure, before the game would start, I would feel the butterflies fluttering around.
Dude, rugby. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's all the boys who kind of started the joint were all on the same team, so that's how we all know each other.
Oh, also, I love to play basketball and soccer.
Okay, awesome.
Yes,
basketball and soccer.
Yes,
you got to stay active. I don't know what you do. You got to have some type of activity.
Exactly.
All right, so it's you just got signed, hypothetically, for a huge show, and you killed it. How would you celebrate? You've got the rest of the night to kind of hang out with everybody. What's your celebration look like?
Oh my gosh. I party really hard. I will stay out until 6 a.m.
I love it.
Doing anything. Dancing.
Past dancing? Okay.
I love to dance.
So I went to school in St. Louis.
Oh, cool.
So I've partied a lot in downtown. Where's your go-to spot?
Right now, it just depends. Right now, the other day was was that last weekend? The World Naked Bike Ride. So, there's 2,500 people in St. Louis, and you're riding around St. Louis and people are nude, but afterward we were at this bar called the Handlebar.
Okay.
In the Grove on Manchester. And it's a good vibe. There's always a DJ on there Friday and Saturdays, I believe. There's always a DJ. And man, and you can dance there. There's all kinds of places, but that is kind of if we're like, where do we want to go dance? Like, let's just go to the Handlebar.
Nice.
You know, and it's, you know, but I actually would rather go to like a music festival.
Yeah. Okay. Well, fair.
Yeah. I would rather do like a camping music festival, like 3 days, you know.
What's the one that you go to every year? Like
so this last one, a Reconnection, it's actually only 45 minutes outside of like St. Louis. So technically from like the city, like once you hit like the border of St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
So it's technically like an hour and a half away from like the city. But it's super close and it's such a vibe. There's only like 3,000 people opposed to like one like summer camp in Illinois where there's like 20,000 people. Yeah. Actually, Reconnection, they're based out of Kansas City.
Really?
I think so. They have one here. But anyway, that is like, it's like family. You know, you're going there and you're dancing with everybody. It's almost like you know everyone. It's like a community. It's great. I love it.
Nice. And Reconnection, I'm going to have to look that up.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so correct me because I feel like I'm going to say this wrong. The didgeridoo?
Didgeridoo.
Didgeridoo. Got it flipped.
Yep.
All right, so I have only known one other person in my life to ever purchase and play one. Shout out Jacob Steinley. But how do you decide that's something you want to play? And then is that another thing you taught yourself how to play?
So yes, like one of my favorite bands back in the day was Incubus.
Okay.
And
Love
Brandon Boyd, yes. And Brandon Boyd, I was watching a video, and it's actually on the album Science. But I didn't even realize that's what it was when I was hearing it, but he pulled it out on stage, and I'm like, whoa, what is that? And you hear the timbre, and you're like, it hits you. It's like, it
goes
hits
through
you here. It hits you here. And that's what I'm saying about the whole, like, you know, it's like the soul. It hits you in your soul. And when I heard it, I said, yes. But what I didn't know is that he just was doing a drone. He was just droning, and I'm like, that's cool. What I didn't know is what you could do beatboxing into it. The rhythmic aspect, because I love beatboxing and I like rhythm. I like odd meters and all this crazy stuff. So I took it to a good friend of mine, like, hey man, have you ever heard of this didgeridoo? And he's like, yup, here you go. He was already into it, and he made them out of PVC piping. So that's how a lot of my friends got started. There's like a community of us, of 4. There's a community of 4 people. But yeah, he handed me one, and at first it was tricky. I could not figure out circular breathing. And then one day after a really good day, I picked it up, and it just clicked.
That's that epiphany moment where like the repetitions catch up, and then you know the muscle memory hits, and then it all connects, and you hit that. Yeah, I love that feeling.
Yeah, like I set it down, and like for a while I was like, man, and I just said I was having a good day. I'm like, I'm gonna pick this up, and then it just happened. I was like, circular breathing, and then the rest is history.
Oh, sick! So you had a group of 4 community. That's nice. I'd never. It's like I said, I have a friend who purchased one and plays it, but not anywhere near how you do it.
Awesome.
Like the whole beatboxing was excellent. I was like, why don't more people doing this?
Yeah,
it seems so natural.
Tricky,
like it's got to be.
Because a lot of the rhythms I'm playing, I'm breathing. So those are breaths. So if you hear me going, I'm breathing really fast. So it's really, it's tricky. Like it's, you know, it's kind of like snowboarding. It looks easy, but once you get on there,
it's like
you're gonna fall.
Perception. It's like a high, or high dive. You're like, oh, that doesn't look that high, and then you get up there like, this is
exactly
who raised it 20 feet.
Exactly.
Is this the same one?
Exactly. That's exactly right.
Man, that's cool. So what are just to kind of close out here? What are your plans for the future? You mentioned that you're interested in kind of expanding out of St. Louis, hit Chicago, KC more. You know, are you just wanting to, you know, tour until you die? I mean, it looks like if you're having fun and you're doing it and you're great at it and you can feel yourself getting better, I can't imagine like a happier path in life.
That's it, man. I mean, I want to travel. Like, I actually have family. They're friends, but I call them family in Bulgaria. And so I was just in Europe for 6 weeks last year, touring around, and I went there and I actually play with this jazz band called Two Cities, One World.
Okay.
And that's where they're stationed, in Bulgaria right now.
Bulgaria.
So I'm going there next year, and I'm going to be touring in Europe with them, with their band, but I'm also going to be like sharing my music to eventually travel all the time and play music and just bring positivity to the world. That's essentially my mantra. You know, like I just want to travel and share and connect with humans.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. I guess if you can get the road style down and get good at traveling and playing, that could take you wherever you want.
Yeah, man. I want to go everywhere. I want to meet people. I want to see everything. Like when I traveled, I was like, and it was just such a small. I went to Portugal, France, and Bulgaria, and everyone was like, "That's a lot." And I'm like, actually, when you look at it on Google Maps, it's not that much.
Yeah.
I wanted to see everything, so that is the plan: travel and play.
Man, I love it. Well, I wish you the best of luck. As we grow here and we get the bar open, if we've got some bigger performances, like I said, we were frustrated that you weren't local in KC, so we'll be reaching out to you again for sure.
Man, I'm available, so it doesn't matter if it's like, hey, can you play in like a week? Most likely, I can do it.
Excellent. Okay,
Yeah.
Cool. Well, cool people attract cool people, so I'm glad that you came here, and it kind of makes me feel cool that you think
you're
we're
very
cool. So
cool. I really love this place. This is a great spot. So awesome.
I love it, dude. Well, Justin, thank you, Justin Roth. Thank you for sitting
Thanks,
down with
Alex.
me and talking a little bit. Glad that you've enjoyed the space, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Oh yeah, you definitely will.
Righteous, man. Thank you.